welcome back to the Crypto Saving Expert News Show, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so we all know exactly what is happening. Today we are joined back by that Martini guy who is going to run us through some of his chart analysis today. But let's take a look at Crypto Saving Expert website first and see that Bitcoin is sat at $23,895. If I share my screen, you can take a look with me. And Ethereum is currently sat at 1,645. So now let's take a look at some of Jordan's analysis and see what he's got in store for the day.
Yeah, so it's been an interesting time of it, hasn't it, recently? Bitcoin keeps on making these stabs to the upside and then getting rejected. And it's frustrating for me, just like it's frustrating for every single person watching right now, of which there are 50 of you. And you should definitely have slapped that like button if you've not already. I would appreciate that. The channel, unbelievably, is now at 2,600 subscribers as well. So if you are new or you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Would really, really appreciate it. But anyway, when it comes to the price of Bitcoin, we're going to go up today, is what my analysis is saying. So let me explain a little bit about that. We've got here these constant levels of rejection that we keep on seeing, like bounce, rejection. We just got rejected again, and it's like very frustrating. At the same time, we have this lower level of support here. So it's rather than saying, look, I'm bullish, I expect the price to go up, from a purely kind of unbiased perspective, we have a lower level of support here at $23,650, call it that. We lose $23,650, we'll come back down to at least the low 23,000s, and then it'll start getting a little bit of squeaky bum time, and it'll be getting like a lot worse. At the same time, I don't really expect that to happen. One of the key reasons as to why I don't expect that to happen is because we're showing some tremendous support here, and these bounces to the upside, essentially what's happening is, you can see here we're trading in a slightly higher range of liquidity. But if we zoom out on the chart right now and we look at what's going on the hourly, reset the scale to auto there, you can see that Bitcoin is, we're forming on the lower side here a level of support. And that level of support, in theory, yeah, we dropped below it a couple of times and we've tested these lower levels, but in theory we are coming towards a rounding off. And at the same time, don't forget, Bitcoin is still in a bull flag, a giant bull flag, but it's a bull flag nonetheless. If we go over to the 4 hour, you can see here, big stock up, big old bull flag to the outside. So from my perspective, I actually think we're going to get a bullish weekly close today. I actually am positioned in long positions right now. My long positions are from $23,950. So they're in a slight loss at this moment in time, but I did only open them in the past 24-hour period. And I'm just waiting for that pump back to the upside. They're in profit earlier today. My target for Bitcoin remains the same. I think that there are a lot of people that are expecting the price of Bitcoin to decline in the not too distant future. I feel like those people are possibly slightly optimistic. At the same time, look, if Bitcoin breaks through the levels here at 23,650, you can see the control line down here sat on this lower level support at $23,000. That's likely where we would drop to. But at $23,000, I am slapping in some big long positions, because I believe that at that point in time, things are going to change again and go back to the upside. So essentially all that we're having here is a reforming of the equilibrium, where you've got people that bought lower selling higher, and at the same time, so other people go, hang on a second, the price is still pretty low. If we go to something like this and we look at the weekly chart and go, damn, used to be $70,000, now only $20,000. It's only like 50 grand a coin cheaper. Perhaps I should probably buy some. So it's just that you can also see, look at this chart here. Look how the way the liquidity drops away, and there is literally no resistance all the way up here. We've got some big buy kind of volume all the way down here, but we're probably never going to reach that. So from my perspective, we're on the edge of a big breakout. It's just waiting for that breakout to occur and just seeing if it occurs. We don't know if it's going to go good or bad. We do know it's going to be interesting. So make sure you are subscribed to the Crypto Saving Expert YouTube channel and tune in every day, where the lovely Jess will walk you through the world of cryptocurrency news and educate you guys a little bit. So yeah, Jess, that's my analysis for today.
Perfect. Let's move on to some news then and discuss what's happening in the markets. Let's take a look at this. We have the US FTC investigates bankrupt Voyager for deceptive crypto marketing. So the FTC believes Voyager's plan to sell its assets to Binance.us could hinder their investigation. According to a Wednesday filing at the US Bankruptcy Court, Southern District of New York, the FTC is probing Voyager for unlawful practices in its crypto marketing strategy before the broker went bankrupt. And the commission noted that such an investigation is ongoing, is ongoing as Voyager's bankruptcy proceedings are not enough reason to pass a stay order. And the FTC have said the FTC have commenced an investigation into certain acts and practices for debtors and debtors' employees, directors, and officers for their deceptive and unfair marketing of cryptocurrency to the public. Pursuant to 11 USC 3B2, such investigation is not stayed by the commencement of the debtors' Chapter 11 bankruptcy proceedings, and the regulator argued that the approval and execution of Voyager's plan to sell its holdings to crypto exchange Binance.us would interfere with the investigation. So shortly after going bankrupt, Voyager agreed to sell its assets to the now defunct crypto exchange FTX upon FTX's insolvency, and Voyager reopened the biddings process, and Binance US won with a $1 billion offer. So this is what we are seeing here. I don't really have too much to comment on this one. Do you, Jordan? It's just an observation that's been made.
I think it's interesting. Ultimately, the FTC is not incentivized to make sure that anything goes smoothly in the world of crypto. One of the things that they want people to feel like they don't have is consumer protection, because then it scares away investment from the crypto space. But at the same time, it's a bit of a non-story at this point. I think that FTC investigating bankrupt Voyager for deceptive crypto marketing, they're bankrupt already. It's not like they're coming back anytime soon. So let's move on. That's what I'd say about this one. Slap a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Bitcoin to the moon and all that good stuff. Next story, Jess.
Next, we have the SEC New York regulators oppose Binance.us plans to buy Voyager's assets for $1 billion. So we have seen this. This is what we have just discussed. So let's move on to the next one. Binance reportedly ends earn and staking services for users in the UK and Australia. So this is a big story here that seemed to, I found this out through Twitter yesterday. There was a couple of people on Twitter discussing this. Crypto Twitter community members in the UK and Australia are claiming that Binance has restricted its users from both countries from subscribing to the products and products. The new measures allegedly took place on February 22nd and will affect Binance's Simple Earn, DeFi staking, ETH 2.0 staking, BNB Vault, and liquidity farming. So we've seen some screenshots.
I was going to say, you'd think that you've been doing these streams now for how long, and you still get words wrong when you read them out. Every day.
It's getting better. It is improving.
Every day.
It's because my brain goes too fast for my mouth. So by the time it gets there, my brain's already 5 steps ahead, and it just gets muscles up. So this is the things we've been seeing on Twitter. Binance just excluded the UK and whole of Australia from their program. So this is what we are seeing over here. And the crypto saving expert community member James was also affected by the new restrictions by Binance and shared the following screenshots of a message from the cryptocurrency exchange. So interesting. We also saw yesterday, I don't know if we've got an article over about this yet. There was also people getting liquidated from their futures positions on the Binance platform as well. I don't know if we've got an article on this, but I saw that on Twitter as well. Oh, here it is. Here it is, covered in the next part of the article. The claims of Binance ending products for the UK and Australia follow additional claims on Twitter that it has forcefully closed derivatives trading positions for its traders residing in Australia. And the crypto community member has since shared a screenshot of the message they received from Binance explaining that their derivatives trading account has been restricted until they provide new information of evidence of how they meet the requirements to be classified as a wholesale trader. And this actually caused a bit of a dump in the price of the asset. I can pull up a tweet up very quickly if you just give me a second. I did send this to somebody else in the team.
Over for a second, in a sense of, I find it very interesting that they would do that. And yeah, I remember that. So this was Rand got so much hate for this tweet. Like, people are just too mean. I don't even bother tweeting out anything these days of any kind of magnitude. I just tweeted out a video last night of me racing my car, because everyone on Twitter, don't matter what you say to them, they give you just horrible comments, abuse, all sorts of lovely kind of things. If you do like people's content, by the way, guys, leave positive comments. Like, even on this live stream, even when Jess is on her own, leave positive comments, because the negative comments, because negative people are generally the loudest. They always swamp everything else, and positive people just watch it and move on. Like, I never really comment on that many things on the internet, but I should, because if I like things, I should comment on them. It's just positive comments don't get the same traction that negative ones do. And Yeah, anyway, I mean, you can probably see the first comment on this is, haha, you're an idiot. But at the same time, he probably shouldn't have put, there you go, look, you're a disgrace to the industry, irresponsible influencer. I just think you're one of them guys that just jumps on people the second that they say anything. Just sod you. You're an ass. Anyway, Rand said that, didn't he? Yeah, and I assume it's because the forced liquidations by Binance Australia. It is what it is, isn't it? I would expect nothing less. But interestingly enough, these laws have been in place for a very long time, and they've never done anything about it. I can still trade derivatives on Binance. Probably shouldn't say that on stream, but my account's not restricted, so come get me. I don't trade derivatives on Binance anyway, but I can. I still have the option to. Anyway, do drop a like on today's live stream if you are enjoying it. Would appreciate it. Currently got 52 likes, which is fantastic, with 86 people watching live. Another amazing achievement. Currently, now we've got 2,610 subscribers. Let's get that up to 2,620 before the end of today's live stream. And Jess, next story.
Yep, let's take a look at what else is going on in the news. So we have the Rose Capital's valuable NFTs to be sold by liquidator Tenio. Is that how you say it? I'm just going to have to guess that one. So we see this quite often with liquidators dumping assets into the markets, and this spreads fear when we see bankruptcies because people get scared that their assets are going to be dumped on. But in this case, it's NFTs, and if you're buying NFTs, I'm not judging you too much, but I am. The liquidator, however, clarified that the sale does not include the Starry Night portfolio, which includes NFTs owned by Starry Night Capital. The latter is a fund created by Carl Davis and Suzu and holds an estimated 481 NFTs, whose combined value is in the tens of millions of dollars. So holders of these NFTs are just going to see loads of liquid NFTs in that collection come into the market, so the value of them will probably fall slightly. Potential NFTs being sold, according to this tweet, is the 11 Punks, one Bud Ape Yacht Club, one. I mean, I don't know what that one is.
Mutant Ape Yacht Club, other deeds, autoglyphs, and pegs. Yeah. Go on. Three. It's interesting. So I thought I actually recognized a few names from here, but of course I recognize a few names from here. But again, boring story. Just move on. No one cares about 3 Hours Capital.
Okay, let's take a look at this one. Coinbase announces their Ethereum Layer 2 base. So we did talk about this slightly in yesterday's stream, I believe. They are creating a Layer 2 Ethereum scalability solution called Base. And this enables anyone, anywhere to create decentralized applications on-chain in a safe, affordable, and a developer-friendly manner. And since we saw they then announced this was going to happen, we saw a huge spike in the price of different assets on the Ethereum network. I can't find where this is. Let's just read the article. Coinbase also announced that it will join a core developer on the OP stack code base, and that base is based on Optimism. Optimism saw a move to the upside. They will also calibrate with OP Labs as core developers to advance the goals of the Optimism Collective, strengthening the Optimism stack position as the most overpowered public good in the market. Interesting here. This isn't a move I expected Coinbase to make. I didn't think it's not very common to see this sort of thing take place, really.
Scroll back up to the top. I want to comment on they're using Optimism as their Layer 2.
I took it as they are creating a Layer 2 called Base, and they are using Optimism as it. They're basing their base on Optimism. Yeah, okay. And that base is based on Optimism.
Yeah. So that, I mean, doesn't surprise me. When is Coinbase Coin coming? It's gonna happen. Just like with all of these exchanges, they'll all have their own coin. At some point, maybe Crypto Saving Expert will have its own coin as well. But essentially, you see it. It's a way for them to. Do we need another Layer 2 scaling solution? No. So why invent one? I don't understand. I think there's so many of these things whereby people go, I have an amazing idea, but really what you're better off is using the existing technology and helping improve that rather than trying to come at it with your own stuff. There is only one angle that would cause you to want to create your own Layer 2, and that's a financial angle. So the question is, when Coinbase Coin? That's what this story should really be. Anyway, let's move on.
Let's move on to the next article we have here. They are starting to get a little bit more excited as we get to the end. First, we have Montana Senate approves bill to protect Bitcoin miners. And the right to mine bill has been approved in the state and heads to the House next. So Montana is inching closer to establishing legal certainty on Bitcoin and crypto mining. While some US states are looking to wind down on mining, the Montana State Senate passed a bill to protect crypto mining rights on Thursday, amongst other things. So they've passed a landslide vote of 37-13, and it was approved last week by the committee and now will proceed to the state's House for its voting before seeking the governor's signature. In addition to creating legal certainty for the crypto mining industry, the pro-Bitcoin mining bill aims to protect at-home mining activities. It also seeks to prevent discriminatory utility rates for miners and stop taxation on digital currencies used as payments. The bill also proposes stripping local governments of the power to move against crypto mining activities via zoning laws, as previously mentioned in Mishawala, the second largest county in Montana state. Mishawala County Commissioners unanimously approved a resolution in 2019 that required crypto miners to offset their carbon emissions by funding or building equivalent renewable projects. The resolution was passed amid the country's goal of attaining 100% clean electricity by 2030, to which the chair of the Board of County Commissioners, Josh Slotnick, said, "We looked at the potential for new Bitcoin mining and saw we're never going to meet these goals if mining happens in the way it's been happening. The use is so extreme, it dwarfs everything else in our county." So positive things here for those in Montana. Good things to see, but I don't. Is mining profitable in Montana? Is the electricity cost low enough in Montana?
So I have a friend that Bitcoin's pumping. But I have a friend that mined Bitcoin. I don't know what state he were in, but it was profitable because what he used to do was he used to buy excess energy from power plants. So all power plants operate an excess of maybe 20 to 30%. And if they don't sell that energy on or give that energy away, it gets wasted. Because they don't have a way to store it. Energy plants don't generally store it; they just power a grid, and any excess goes nowhere. So what you end up happening is with energy dealers, you can broker a deal, buy cheap energy, and then become profitable Bitcoin miner. The issue is when you have people setting up Bitcoin mines in networks with no excess, although they're pretty rare, and most networks do have an excess. Essentially, some don't, and that's. I mean, Montana probably does have a perfectly fine. It is what it is. Like New York State, for example, does New York State have an excess of energy? Slightly, but they need that excess in order to keep the system liquid because of how much power New York State is consuming. However, when you have what we have, like London, again, London has the same thing. Like if you get a power cut, it's pretty extreme, the damage that it does. In these smaller counties and stuff where you've got no people, land is cheap. Bitcoin mining farms are pretty popular. Like energy is pretty abundant because of all of the natural resources. So they just burn all of the oil and whatnot. Is Montana an oil state? I get the feeling that Montana's got oil. And if they've got any oil state is going to be doing Bitcoin mining for a long time. We're already seeing it quite heavily in Texas. Like Bitcoin mining in Texas is a pretty growing business. And we see it with Marathon Miner. If you look at Marathon Mining stock on the US stock exchange, it's been growing very significantly. But yeah, I think it's all very interesting. If you wouldn't mind, do stuff like on today's live stream, would appreciate it. Somebody asked in the chat as well, what's happening with TMG Trades and that Martini Guy YouTube channels. First of all, both of them are going to have a video out today. I was very dizzy the past couple of days from snorting petrol fumes at the racetrack. It really does take it out of you. It sucks all of your energy. I think your lungs basically can't. I must have very sensitive lungs because then I couldn't recover fast enough. I think I've just breathed in too much petrol and what's it called? What's the gas that comes out of an exhaust? It begins with an M. It's not methane. It's what is it? Somebody say in the chat. Somebody figure that one out. It's what comes out of cows' bums, but that's not methane, is it? I think methane does come out of a cow. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Let's just move on to the next story. Slap a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me just give it a quick refresh. It says that currently we've got 96 people watching. Let's just give it a refresh. See how many people are watching live right now. The answer to that question is we've now got only 85 people, 10 people left. You silly boys. Oh, wow. We're at 2,620 subscribers, though, now, which is fantastic. So we've gained 20 subscribers throughout the course of today's live stream. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Really do appreciate it. Jess always forgets to ask.
I've got pretty good at asking now.
You have.
But, so yeah, any pro Bitcoin bills are positive in our book. Let's move on to the next article we have here. We have two about USDC here. USDC Circle to increase its staff by 15 to 25% in 2023. So USDC was put in the limelight last week after BUSD got attacked by the SEC. A lot of people thought that USDC would receive a Wells notice and they would be investigated further, but USDC did shut down those news and say that wasn't the case. And now they're saying they're going to increase their staff. Positive news coming out here following those negative rumors circulating around USDC. So positive things here, but we can move on to the next article because this is kind of in the same bunch. Circle CEO, banking regulators should oversee stablecoins and not the SEC, according to the Circle CEO. So this is obviously off the back of regulators within the stablecoin space last week with BUSD. We can see here the United States Securities and Exchange Commission has had a busy first 2 weeks of 2023, attempting to streamline the crypto industry in the wake of the massive implosion of FTX last November. However, some of its enforcement actions have been seen as regulatory overreach, resulting in prominent crypto industry leaders, such as Coinbase's CEO Brian Armstrong, calling out the SEC for its high-handedness.
Not high-handedness. I also want to point out in the chat, it has been clarified at this point. The answer that I was looking for was carbon monoxide poisoning. I have been carbon monoxide poisoned by all of these race cars. You won't believe it, you know. You say that you're fifth gear flat out, then change up to sixth. You're about to go into a corner and you're approaching it maybe like another car, maybe 100 miles an hour, and they're going really slow. And then they set, like, maybe they go around the corner and then they accelerate and you just get a cloud of just death in your face. And it just sends you dizzy. But sometimes that dizziness, it makes you go even faster when you're racing because it kind of takes your mind off the fact that what you're doing is quite dangerous. And instead you just get dizzy and weird and you forget that what you're in is a dangerous scenario and you just flat out just mind on one thing, which is go around in a circle as fast as possible. It's fun. You should all try racing, honestly. It is fun, but I would say that it's like anything else. When you're not good at it, it's not as fun. But when you get good, like I'm only getting good now, and I've been doing it now for 4 or 5 months, and I'm only getting good now. It's taken 4 or 5 months of like a lot of money, a lot of practice, a lot of sets of tires, and I'm getting there. It's going to be good. You should also come to the races next season. If you do come to a race, you'll meet some of the guys from Crypto Saving Expert. You'll meet some of the sponsors as well for the team, which are crypto sponsors, and you'll meet me because I'm going to be at every single race unless I crash. Yeah. Anyway, back to stable coins, Jess. It's way more interesting than racing, isn't it? Oh yeah.
Let's take a look at this quickly then, and then we can move on to the final article. Circle's co-founder and CEO has shared his insight into the recent enforcement actions by the SEC, stating that the regulator should not oversee stablecoins. So he said, I don't think the SEC is the regulator for stablecoins. There is a reason why everywhere in the world, including the US, the government is specifically saying payment stablecoins are a payment system and banking regulator activity. His recommendation comes less than 2 weeks after the SEC served Paxos Trust with a Wells notice informing the BUSD issuer of possible legal action for violating investor protection laws. So that is
I'm going to interrupt and say that it's funny, isn't it? How government says that no cryptocurrency is actual real currency. And then they go, oh, stablecoins, they're currency, they're real currency. And then they go, yeah, but none of it, all altcoins, none of them are real currency. They're not actually currency. They're just commodities. What is it? Is it a commodity or is it a currency? Make your mind up. Everybody says a different thing. And it's just this clarity that the crypto space needs. If you give crypto clarity, markets will go berserk. And that's one of the reasons why the governments don't want to give clarity on what is crypto. Is it cash? Is it a commodity? Is it like equity, like an investment? What is it? And they refuse to define what it is because they know that the uncertainty causes fear in investing, meaning that it'll attract less investment. And that's
And
why.
this is what we saw in the UK as well. They said for educational purposes, stablecoins couldn't be labeled as a stablecoin because sometimes they depeg. And that just makes educating people on crypto incredibly difficult to do.
Yeah.
And
We've
that's
got a
what they
course
like.
on stablecoins, actually, don't we? If you go scroll to the top of this article, we're done with this now. Go to the top of this article, go to courses, and I'm pretty sure on Crypto 101,
Yep,
you scroll down there, I'm pretty sure there's a stablecoins course. There is. There you go.
logged in.
Yeah. But you can go and take that. Go to cryptosavingexpert.com right now. Go take the stablecoins course. Learn a little bit about them. Not the world's most interesting topic, but it will serve you well to learn about stablecoins. Again, somebody put a lot of effort into making that course. You should go and complete it. I would recommend it. Again, the important thing with all of these courses that we have on Crypto Saving Expert, Jesse, if you just want to randomly scroll through a few of them, essentially what we have here is a large array of free education that allows you to make better decisions because you learn more about what is this stuff. What I would say about the blockchain basics is that's pretty in depth, and about the Bitcoin stuff, you don't need to click on each one. But yeah, the Bitcoin courses, they're really in depth. Like, they're interesting. If you're actually into crypto and you really get it, you like those courses. This is not necessarily 100% noob stuff. It's stuff that you would never think to learn about, that gives you the understanding that nobody else can be bothered to get. It's not noob, it's not expert, it's information that is useful. And
It's foundations that you wouldn't think of researching.
yeah, it's like, what is Bitcoin? Well, my brother wrote parts of this, and my brother, as you'll see when you go through some of these courses, he likes detail. So I'll leave it at that. Go to cryptosavingexpert.com right now. We've got over 4,000 users now on the website. Let's try and hit that 5,000 user milestone by going over, sign up, make an account. I think a lot of people use the website, but they don't get the courses, so they don't go on. You don't click on anything, Jess, because it'll put your autofill information in there.
I've checked this. It's all okay, but we do need to point out to people to tick that box when they sign up.
Yeah, because then you get the newsletter. A lot of people sign up and they say they don't get the newsletter. Well, if you want the newsletter, tick that box. If you don't want the newsletter, don't tick that box. But I'm pretty sure. I think you can actually go through without ticking that box. It seems like, and yeah, that box is literally just for the newsletter. It's not for privacy policy for anything else. It's literally just for the newsletter. So you have to tick that box. But I would recommend it. We don't spam your email. It's once a week you get the newsletter. And also, if you don't already have the newsletter, you can actually go back into your account. If you didn't tick that box, I'd recommend you go back into your account and tick that box on the settings page. It's in there somewhere. But just so you get, like, because we have about 12 or 13,000 readers of the newsletter every week, and 4,000 users of the website. So because we had the newsletter list going for a lot longer than what we have done the website, so it's all going to go through some nice significant growth at some point. You'll see a lot more traditional marketing coming out for Crypto Saving Expert, but for now we remain niche, and it's just our small community of really helpful and people, and I very much appreciate you all sticking with us and using our information and stuff like that. That's the whole point of it, is to make you guys wealthy in terms of knowledge. Yeah, have we got any more news stories today, Jess?
We have one last news story today, and this is FTX's SBF faces 4 new criminal charges, including making unlawful political contributions. So a revised 39-page criminal indictment against Sam Bankman-Fried listed.
No, Jess, it's not indictment, it's indictment.
Is it? I was pretty
Indictment.
confident on that one.
It's not indictment.
Against SBF lists 4 new charges in addition to the original 8 facing the FTX co-founder. The CNBC source familiar with the new charges stated that SBF could face an additional 40 years in prison if convicted. The new charges include the following: conspiracy to commit fraud on customers of FTX in connection with the purchase and sale of derivatives, fraud on customers of FTX in connection with the purchase and sale of derivatives, conspiracy to commit bank fraud, conspiracy to make unlawful political contributions, and defraud the FEC. That's surprising me, this one. I didn't think this would be something that he'd actually get done for, those contributions.
I have always thought, you look at it from the politicians. Scroll down a little bit on this article. Look at it from the politician's perspective. from the politicians' perspective right now, FTX gave them a lot of money and made them look stupid. Are they going to be happy about that? No. He gets in trouble. You can think of it as trying to buy your way out of trouble, but it was not a problem that existed before. He created the problem. So, yeah, it's interesting. I think that I actually think Sam's going to get jail time. I think that Sam walks free from all of this. I don't think he goes to prison. At worst, he gets 2 to 3 years. I genuinely don't think he'll go to prison. I think that they'll make it look really bad. I think they'll give him a bad initial sentence, and then I think he'll appeal it. I think he'll win his appeal, and I think he'll be out in 3 years. At worst case scenario, I don't think for 1 second Sam's going to prison for 40 years. He's given away way too much money to people that are in higher places. So yeah, you've embarrassed the people at the very top that didn't get the money, but you've still got a lot of support all that way down. And the only difficulty is, I guess, that they're trying to claw back a lot of these donations that they've made. So if they're going to claw back the donations that they've made and they're going to actually get those donations back so they can refund them to users, they're going to it's going to get just nasty for him. It's going to go terrible if they actually go and because got to bear in mind Sam's not in control of what FTX are doing anymore. So if FTX are going to go and take all of that money back, it's going to kill his reputation with all of these politicians that are still happy that they give him like a few million quid here and there. I just I do feel for the guy in a sense of imagine going from billionaire to now. You're looking, and this is additional 40 years to probably the 120 years that he's already been threatened with. Like, this is some serious jail time that the guy's looking at. It's Ross Ulbricht style jail time. I won't want to be in right now.
I wonder how he got in. Surely he's not made all of these malicious decisions on his own. Surely somebody's pressuring him to make these decisions.
The issue is, even if he didn't make the decisions, he's CEO, so he's responsible. It would be like if somebody that worked for Crypto Saving Expert went out and, I don't know, committed a crime under the name of the company. That would be my responsibility, or rather it would be the department head's responsibility or the director of that department's responsibility. But ultimately, the responsibility lies with the person at the top of the business. And it's his job to oversee that business. It's why at Crypto Saving Expert, we have meetings all the time around everything, because you need to stay in contact. You need to understand what your staff are doing. And when you have a company that grew to the size of FTX, nobody knows what anybody's doing. For all we know, they're all swanning around on yachts taking customer money, because like when a business gets to that size, you're anonymous within your own company. A Crypto Saving Expert, I'm not anonymous. There's me and 40 other people. We know each other quite well. It's a small group. But when you have 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 3,000 people working for you, it's pretty easy to hide. Especially if you're the kind of boss that just lets your employees do whatever they want, whenever they want. And it appears like Sam was that guy. He made out a lot that he slept in the office, but was he just going to the office because he didn't want to sleep at home? Who knows? It was more like, did Sam actually ever do work, or was he just lazy and that was him sleeping in the office? He made out like he works all the time, but was he just napping instead of working? Probably. Interesting. Anyway, please do drop a like on today's video. Did we reach 100 likes in today's video? Let's have a look at that. I'm just going to refresh the page. It's coming through right now. The answer to that is no. We only hit 91 likes in today's video so far. We were at 2,620 subscribers. Actually, big milestone that we hit on the channel today that Jess was excited about. We can finally monetize the YouTube channel, which is amazing. We've now reached the minimum amount of watch time required to monetize a YouTube channel, which is amazing. So that's pretty good. Jess has been trying to do that on her own YouTube channel for how many years now, and you've still failed?
I started mine in 2020, and we've overtook it within like 6 months on this channel. So yeah. I'm happy but jealous.
Well, I mean, you're a part of the business. You own part of the equity of it. Again, another thing that you ever want to, how do you incentivize staff correctly? A lot of Crypto Saving Expert staff do hold some equity in the company. They're all part owners of the company. It's a good way to incentivize people to try hard It keeps costs lower on the whole, and at the same time, if we're all successful in our goals and ambitions, we all benefit. So it's a really good way of doing it. So I'd recommend that anybody. I mean, there's a lot of business owners and stuff that will do watch this content. Consider giving your staff equity. They will work harder for you. It's a good idea. Like, look at Jess. Jess every day, same time, bam, 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 bam. Same time, she's all over the website. She does good, but she has to work for it. Anyway, Bitcoin, after I said it was pumping 2 minutes ago, then started dumping, and now it's pumping again. It's going to be an interesting daily close that we get today. I'm bored of Sam. Take him off the screen. Put my screen back on, and we'll go through some analysis again before the end of today's video. If you are enjoying today's video, by the way, we're now at 98 likes, so let's get 2 more likes, 100 likes. Thank you very much. I would appreciate that. This is currently the price of Bitcoin. Literally, as I said, oh, Bitcoin's pumping again, which was about here. It went and just went to the downside. But we have found this lower level of support. Again, I didn't draw this support level during the course of today's live stream. This support level was already existing. You can see here, bouncy, 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 bounce off it again. We have a control line up here, so we'll likely return back to the control line around $23,892 over the course of the next kind of 20 minutes or so. I will be updating everybody on my second channel, TMG Trades. If you type it on YouTube and subscribe to that, I'm going to be posting a video on TMG Trades early afternoon, and then there'll be a video on That Martini Guy YouTube channel this evening as to all of the latest and greatest events in the world of cryptocurrency. So if you wouldn't mind, please do subscribe to Jess's channel as well, Interpret Crypto. Not that anybody is going to do that, because you've actually got to watch her as well, but you're already seeing her in the morning, don't you?
I actually do get quite a few subscribers when you tell people to go from over here. So
in that case, go and type in Interpret Crypto on YouTube and go and subscribe to her. I would appreciate that. She's trying to grow a YouTube channel, and yeah, hopefully we can create some nice successes during the course of the next bull run. Again, I do think we're in good times right now. What I don't understand, Jess, and I want to know your opinion on this. Put it back to us two being full screen. What do you think about currently in the crypto space? There is quite a few people that are now back to being miserable. And they're all going, oh, we've peaked with this and with that. What's your opinion on all of this? Where do you stand?
I only have that opinion if I didn't buy the dip. That is when I get that opinion. So I try and be as unbiased as possible, but you can see the people that didn't buy the dip clearly by their Twitter profiles. So to avoid that, to avoid the fear and avoid the FOMO, I just dollar cost average in and out with a portion of my portfolio, and it makes me feel happy every way. And then I don't feel biased. And then I don't make an astonishing tweet saying that Bitcoin's going to go to $10,000 instead. I just sit and smile at both scenarios.
Well, I can't say I'd be smiling in a scenario whereby Bitcoin's price drops down to $10,000. I would be shutting down Crypto Saving Expert and firing him. But
I wouldn't be smiling then either, to be fair.
Yeah. My personal perspective on it is that we have a lot of people that clearly didn't buy the dip, like really clearly didn't buy the dip. And then you've got the ones that pretend to have bought the dip, but at the first opportunity, like short. I still think a lot of these people are short, and I think that they're increasing the shorts. And my expectation is that they get squeezed. I don't think the squeeze is over yet. This is a short squeeze at the end of the day. This is a short squeeze, but we've not seen a capitulation. And you need, just on both sides of the coin, you need that capitulation on the short side. And it wouldn't make sense for it to end here, being that we're on the cusp of a mega giga breakout. That I just think we need to see a capitulation on the short side. We've not seen like $20 billion of short positions liquidated in a day yet, but we know that those short positions are open. It's just the shorts made a lot of money for 18 months, a lot of money. And the thing is, there'll be a lot of those accounts that were in significant profit that are using cross margin that have also been opening short positions all the way up of this pump, but they're not having an effect on the market anymore. The market seems to be free a little bit more. And so I'm pretty excited about what I believe is going to happen in the crypto space, which is continued growth.
I keep thinking, because I try and go against the general trend that we see on Twitter, because usually that is the case, because Bitcoin takes the path of most pain. But the one thing that does make me a little bit fearful with this is that the fear and greed is currently sat at 53. And I liked it when it was a lot lower. That made me feel a lot more confident about buying the dip when it was down at like 15.
Yeah. No, I get that. But at the same time, you got to think about it from a bear perspective of capitulation. When a bear's capitulating, when there is no fear, when it is all greed, that's when bears are capitulating, and that's when you go short. Fear and greed is an indicator, by the way, is pretty accurate. If you just, I mean, I go through this on the channel all the time. People go, "Oh, you're an idiot. You're an idiot." No, you just buy when the number is low and then sell when the number is high. You can sell when the number is medium if you want to take profits early, like Jess, and be sensible. I'm not that guy. There's a reason that I'm wealthier than Jess, and it's because I take more risk than Jess. Sometimes the risk pays off, other times the risk doesn't pay off. But
I would argue and say that I was too risky last time, and say that I was too over leveraged.
Well, it depends on the terrible state of your financial decisions. I know for myself, I did not make a whole lot of good financial decisions all the time, consistently. But from just February, January, and the back end of December, some very good financial decisions have put us, I mean, within Crypto Saving Expert, back in a bull market. In terms of what our research team is putting together and everything like that, financially, we're good. We're doing great. And it's all just from paying more attention. The other thing that a lot of people like to do when the prices are down is give up. I'm not that guy either, and I don't think you are. We don't give up. We keep going. We keep researching. We keep investing, and then the market turns, and boom, people go, "Oh my god, how did you get rich?" And I go, again, for the 7,000th time when I've explained this to somebody, buy the dip. It's very simple. When the prices are low, you buy them. When the prices are high, you sell them. It's like when I made a video maybe about 4 months ago about buying Meta stock. And I said, look, I'm going to buy a bunch of Meta stock. I bought 100 grand of Meta stock. I think it's up like 2.5 times since then. Facebook stock got dumped really heavily into the ground. And I was like, it's Facebook. It's going to pump at some point. Like, just use your brain. Now it's up 100%. Like, I'm not complaining. It's just having the courage to actually fire it in while no one else, like, not a lot of people have actually got that courage because they're too scared of losing the money, but they don't understand that even if it's got another 7% drawdown the day after that you buy it and you lose 7%, and then it draws down another 7% the day after, they don't understand that it takes one good earnings call to pump the price of the coin or stock 2,000%. Like, it goes, the down bit is like boop 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 boop, and then it's doom, like that. This is always how liquidity restores. So it doesn't matter where you buy on this process when it's going down, because it's going to go doom, like what Bitcoin did. Bitcoin did the same thing. And if you zoom out, on Bitcoin right now, you'll see the exact same scenario starting to occur. Like when Bitcoin breaks 25K, it'll go boom, straight to the upside. Then when Bitcoin breaks through 32K, it'll go boom, straight up to 37. The markets and the way that liquidity works, liquidity is like this. It's instant changes. And nobody seems to do the maths on it. And I don't understand why.
It also seems that, like, in a bull market, everyone thinks they'll stick around, but people don't realize when the market's going up how miserable and empty the space feels when the markets go down. So people just don't stick around when they think that it's easy to. They don't realize how hard it is to just wait it out.
Well, again, imagine being me. Imagine the effort and the mental strain of having 2,000 people on the internet consistently every day call you just lots of, we won't get into what specific things that they call you because it's pointless, but they call you a lot of different things. None of them are positive. And imagine that. Those are the same people that were saying nice things about you 2 weeks ago, but now they blame you for their poor financial decisions because they don't have a long-term outlook. Anybody with a brain and a long-term outlook doesn't get annoyed, doesn't get stressed out by market conditions. They just invest because they like investing, and they make money investing because they have a long-term outlook. People with a short-term outlook, people looking for a 10x overnight, don't happen. Like with TAP right now, you'll see that some of the TAP community is like miserable. Why? The coin's price is up like 4,500% in the span of 6 weeks. Why are you miserable? Yeah, you might have bought higher. Okay, well, why did you put your entire portion of funds in at this higher price when you could have dollar cost averaged all the way down if you missed it? This is the way to trade. So, for example, now I'm dollar cost averaging my entry up. I'm buying more coins. That is increasing the average price that I pay for those coins. But at the same time, it's not done. People don't seem to understand. It's been 6 weeks since, not even 6 weeks. I think it's been 5 weeks actually, since the community discovered about TAP. I don't understand where negativity comes from on stuff like this, because it is such short term. Just buy the dip over and over and over again, and you'll be right.
That's a hard thing as well. You always think it's really difficult to, like, if you buy something and it dips, to rebuy, but it's even harder to buy and then buy at a higher price later, I think.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Like, think of it from my perspective. I'm paying 4,500% more per coin than what I paid first time round, but I'm still paying for it because I believe that in the future the price will be at least 100% higher than where it is currently, and I believe that the coin's price has dipped enough now for it to be attractive enough for me to go, right, it's time to stir up some momentum again and get that. Because again, with the money that I play with, I have the money that I can move markets if I want to move markets. So I also have that financial security. So for me to make the actual decision to go, let's shove 100K in, it is what it is. I can do that if I want to do that. I can make the number go up if I want the number to go up. It's not market manipulation. It's not illegal. It's me being an active market participant, buying and selling and doing whatever. So it's one of them whereby I want on tap. Of course, I want the price to go up. I hold so many of those coins. So does it make financial sense for me to buy $100,000 of coins if it increases the value of my coins by $300,000? Yes, it does. And that's the math side of it that I look at as well, because I can actually make a $200,000 profit without taking any profit. But again, for the long term, if I believe the coin's price is going to get to 200, 300, 400 Satoshis, why sell? Like, I have a lot better long-term outlook than a lot of people from my previous investing. Like, how many people actually held Matic from 1 cent up to $2.60 and then actually sold? Me. I did that. What about Swissborg from, what was it, 0.008 cents up to $1.60 and sold a portion? Didn't sell all my Swissborg coins, sold like maybe 25-30% of them. Made a bag. Not many people are actually capable of making these moves because very few people have the patience to wait 18 months to actually profit on this stuff. A lot of people see the quick gain overnight and they go, damn, I fancy a piece of that. And then they don't stick it out for the long run. They go, I'm bored of waiting. I'm going to go and buy a curry with the money instead. All right, you go get your curry.
And because the pullbacks in a bull market can be quite considerable as well, that shakes everyone up every single time. I mean, we can see like a 40-30% drop in the price of Bitcoin just mid-bull run.
Yeah, it does this. But you know what a funny story is, actually? I got an interesting story. So I have a friend that I told to buy Swissborg coins at 0.008. And the price dipped to like 0.007. And he sold them all. And then I told him, oh, look, okay, buy Matic. So he bought Matic at about 2 cents at the time. And then again, he was like, I need some money. I want to take my girlfriend to go and stay in this hotel. So he sold his Matic coins when they were about 1.5 cents for a loss. And missed out on a 264x on his money. So that sucks for him. But I never understood it at the time either. Why are you choosing a short-term event, a short-term, just one little thing to create one memory and sacrificing an entire lifetime's worth of memories from the potential value that you could have created there? For me, I was an absolutely dead cert. Like, this is it. Like, just like I am on tap. Like, I'm pretty confident. And I was the same about it was back then, but he just did not have that confidence to hold. And I think he had about $2,000 of it, meaning that essentially the guy missed out on $480,000 worth of profit, all because he wanted to stay in a hotel. Like, man.
Is he back in crypto now?
No, he's just depressed.
So I always think people make that first mistake. Everybody in crypto has made that stupid mistake, and then that's when they can properly grow their portfolio from their mistakes. But then there's those people that just don't get involved anymore.
No, they give up. That's the sad thing. The sad thing about all of this is they go, damn it, I missed that opportunity. That's my only opportunity that I'll ever get. I'll just give up. And it's the saddest thing because it's not the only opportunity. If you keep going, like, look how many of these opportunities that I've actually seized and made money on. I've done these things maybe. I've done 100x on over 100 investments, which is an insane amount of times to go 100x. Have I taken profit on all of those at that 100x level? No. But I've done it above 100 times. I invested in the bull run in over 400 different cryptocurrency companies. I would estimate that maybe 20% of them probably did plus 150x, 20% of them did 100x, and then maybe the rest of the 50% did between a 5 and 20x. And again, the peak of the bull run, I'm sitting on plus $100 million of unrealized profit. Yeah, I lost a lot of it, like solid $90 million, poof, gone. But I'm still in a much better financial position, all from just playing the game. And it's important that you stick in the game, you play the game, you go down with the dips. Yeah, the dips suck, but if you've already made a lot of money and you're living a nice life, difference does it make whether you've got 100 mil or 30 mil? It makes no difference. And it's kind of drilling into that mentality of just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. Imagine being a businessman and just giving up because you had a bad day at work. It makes no sense. So this is the way that I treat crypto as well. You just keep going every day. It's why you turn on channel notifications for Crypto Saving Expert. Watch Jess in the morning every day. She'll come and she'll tickle your earbuds. And
I do say this though, listening to the news every day is a great way to get into crypto because you just see how the markets react to different news things, and then it doesn't require too much time to do that, just to listen into a live stream.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just something that you can have on in the background and listen to the sweet, soothing tones of a Liverpudlian woman.
After you've pressed like and subscribe.
After you've pressed like and subscribe, yes, and turn channel notifications on. How many likes did we actually reach on today's live stream? Because I guess it's time to kind of wrap things up now. How many likes did we reach? We have reached approximately
110.
Yeah, 110 likes. Oh, and we've reached 2,630 subscribers. So we gained 30 subscribers during the course of today's live stream. I do really appreciate that. Thank you all very much for watching. And Jess, sign us out for the day.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you back here on Monday.
Goodbye, everybody.